that has a lot to do with people not wanting to gain the capacity to want change. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because even though change is inevitable, there's still people have to make the choice to want to. You know,
Yeah.
For
uh,
sure.
you know, as far as what you mentioned about family, like my whole family's from Louisiana, from the southern part of Louisiana, and
Hey, yo, what's up, people? Listen, I am Rodrick Perkins, and I am the host of the Outlet Podcast, along with my co-host, as always. I think that they just, I think they on staff now. But I think that they on staff now. None other than Robert Lewis and Terrance Samuels, man. What's up to y'all? Y'all good? Awesome. Awesome, man.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. I just wanted to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that y'all was there, man. Look, I appreciate you guys being on with me today, and I appreciate everybody that's taking a moment to, to listen to the podcast or to view it or whatever it is. Hey, look, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. If you're on Spotify, if you are on Apple Podcasts, hit that follow button, that subscribe button, download it, share it with somebody, listen to it, all of that good stuff. Well, look, y'all, today's episode, I believe, is going to be a real, real good one. We all have moments in our life where we experience what's called change. Change is the only thing that's constant in life. If you don't think change is constant, then you're probably living in a space that you once lived before, and you're frustrated because you didn't move when it was time to. All right, so look, we're going to have a conversation, man, built around this amazing movie that is out right now that I had the opportunity to go and view, and it is the One Love movie about Bob Marley. Listen, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. It's a great movie. It has a great storyline. It gives you more insight into the man, the music, his life, and really what he was all about. I wish I would have had an opportunity to meet him at some point in life. He might have had me singing with him a couple of times or something. I don't know. That's just me thinking crazy because I'm just, I think crazy like that. But nonetheless, man, it was a great movie, and I want to have some conversation built around change and impact, because that was really the basis of the movie. When you listen to his music, one of the things that you will hear in his music is change. Change is absolutely necessary, and maybe it's just because of where he lived at that time that they needed change. He talked a lot about love. He talked about respect. He talked about God. He talked about a lot of different things. But it was really change that was the overarching theme of that movie. To me anyway. When you go see it, you'll have an opportunity to kind of give your own assessment on that. And but today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about change and impact. So, let's go ahead and just jump into this conversation, man. So, change and impact. We all know that it's necessary. It's needed. There's nothing you can do about it. Change is going to happen, right? So, why do you think we need change? Anybody? Y'all, we can just jump in.
Are we? I just want to know if we're starting with the heavy stuff. Like, are we jumping in lightly?
Look, man. Whatever the boat can handle, like this.
Well, I'm just gonna go right for it.
Well, let's go.
I think that when you consider the backdrop of Bob Marley's life, you see him addressing this cause. And I'm coming to your question, but I'm just taking my time getting there.
For sure.
This cause, which he identifies some significant social and cultural brokenness. And essentially, I think, thankful to my seminary journey, I'm realizing that our world is burdened with violence, political violence, social cultural violence. We are prone to choose a side and fight for our side without ever evaluating the importance of human life, human dignity. people will do whatever it takes to be on the winning side.
Mm.
And I think at the core of our being, at the core of our being, we are forced to evaluate
Mm-hmm.
how do we approach peace. So Bob Marley is seeing this violence. He's seeing the loss of life. He's seeing the dehumanization of people.
Mm.
And that stirs him towards action, causes him to leverage his musical talents, promotes love, spirituality embedded in that. So we need change because people suck at being humans.
Wow. Wow.
And so that's all I'm going to say for now.
Wow. Wow. We suck at being humans. Man, that's rough.
So,
It is. I asked,
No, you
hey
good.
man, it's and you know it. I concur because it's unfortunate that out of everybody being categorized as something, everybody being labeled and positioned in particular areas, whether gentrification is taking place, whether you don't identify as a male or you don't identify as a female. um, Everybody is pretty much choosing their own category that they want to fit in, just so
Mm.
that they can, a lot of times in a lot of spaces, fulfill whatever status quo that's in their own mind. Uh,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that people don't want to experience change for the better. They experience, or they want to experience change just for the moment.
Mm.
And it's
Mm.
funny how people say, "Oh, well, what's your truth?" It's like, no, dummy. Either it's the truth or it's not. But it's like an individual's truth is pretty much based upon what their own theory or belief system is, instead of looking at the overall arching thing that solidifies what truth is.
For
So,
sure.
as it relates to change and what change does, I don't think people are even ready to experience or want to experience what real change will do.
Mm. You said something a minute ago, as you began your statement about the identification of people.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that really caught me, like, in the movie was, he said that in their culture, because he was, he considered himself as a Rastafarian. He said that in our culture, he said, we don't use words like we, they, them, us. He said because those words create division. Those words create division.
Yep.
And as he was explaining to somebody, like, so I know we say a Rastafari, but it's really Rastafari. And what they're saying that I stands for is a sense of unity. It's a
Right.
oneness. And so one of the things that I feel like that he was trying to implement as far as his music was concerned, and even things culturally relative, he was trying to create a sense of, hey, y'all are trying to be by yourselves.
Right.
We're trying to be one.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we don't dress like you. We don't look like you. Our hair is different from yours. We may use the herbs of the earth. You know what I'm saying? To get closer to our creator. But we're trying to be one. Y'all are
Yep.
dividing because you're creating colors, and you're creating systemic lines, and all of this stuff. We really want to be one. And that's what I believe, that part of the reason, before we even, jumped into the conversation, is some of what started the tension. He's like, nah. You got these other cultures, like, nah, you can't, we can't be one. You know what I'm saying? No, we gotta stay separate. Ain't no equal, ain't no this, ain't no that.
Right.
But again, change is something that's just going to happen.
Right.
I don't know if any of you knew this, but Bob Marley actually liked R&B type love songs.
Hmm.
So if when you get a chance, you'll see a moment in the movie where he went into this recording studio, and he went in there with his band, his singers, and they were trying to get like a recording deal, to come in there and record music. And so the guy was in there listening to him play, and they was singing this like love song. It was like, R&B had a nice little, electric guitar riffs in it. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. And they was like, they wasn't feeling it because it wasn't that intense, reggaeton, you know what I'm saying? That it wasn't that
Mhm.
Right.
intense reggae music, and with that music with that message in it. And that's what they wanted. And they was like, hold on, wait. The guy was like, nah, that's okay. We don't want to record y'all. And they was like, hold on. So he left. And then he was like, hold on. So they started playing this other song. And then it brought the guy back in.
Mm.
And I feel like it was in that moment, that's when he realized, I got to pay attention to when it's time to make that change.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? And not use the note, well, maybe it wasn't for me at that moment. You
No.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't for me at that moment. I'm just going, I'm just going to keep praying about it. And then, maybe 2 years from now. No, because that was the moment right there. You just
Right.
needed to make that decision in your mind. Hey, let me do I switch this up? Because it's not affecting my integrity. It's not affecting my character. You know what I'm saying? It's not causing me to lose sight of myself
Right.
to do this in this moment, but let's just see what happens when we decide to do something that we typically don't do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, in the movie, like, you see characters, they undergo like personal transformations.
Sure.
How do you think personal change contributes to a broader societal or personal impact?
Hmm.
I
So,
started out, Robert. So go.
so is
Come on.
so your change becomes effective because if you were changed today,
Mm-hmm.
your conversation, your approach to things will cause an effect to happen with somebody that you encounter. And when it caused the effect to happen to those that you encounter, like for example, I used to be what you would call an internal pessimist, right?
Mm.
I think I mentioned this on this show before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and when I realized how much I actually love to laugh, because I can encourage you all day long, but feel like trash internally.
Yeah.
But when I began to enjoy laughter,
Mm.
that changed the whole game up. And in that change happening for me, I was able to make a whole bunch of people laugh and just in regular conversation.
Wow.
When, I was just kind of the oddball in the bunch, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But just the simple fact, it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It literally is a ripple effect that happens when an individual's either mindset change, either direction of life changes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a ripple effect to whoever it is that person comes in contact with.
Mm.
So it's, yeah.
Mm. So,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I think that the struggle many times is that people try to create change without being changed,
Mm.
Yeah.
and
Mm.
it's not possible to create change without being
That's
changed.
so real.
The
Mm.
cause changes you, and then as you change, you invite people
Hmm.
on a journey,
Hmm.
Wow.
and as they witness what's happening in you,
Hmm.
they buy into the cause.
Yep.
Mm.
So many of us are trying to include people into a cause that they cannot see lived out in us.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is anything. This is raising a child. This is supervising on a job. This is starting or leading in a church. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
Hmm.
if you're connected to some sort of cause. It won't just happen because of what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
The change happens first in the person.
Hmm.
Mm.
And then when people witness the change in you, then they participate with you
Yeah.
Wow.
or they buy into it.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Mm.
That's so monumental, bro. Oh my God.
That's the only thing I could say was, that's
Bro.
I'm
that was
done when I
it.
say this. Have you seen that meme? It's a GIF, a meme out, and it's two. It's one scene on. It's like a cartoon. It's one scene on the top. It's one scene on the bottom.
Hmm.
There's
Mhm.
a person behind the podium, and they say, "Who wants change?" Everybody raises their hand,
Right.
and that's the top frame. On the bottom frame, it says, "But who wants to change?"
Mm.
And nobody raises their hand.
Nobody. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I
Change
think,
to me, bro,
wow.
honestly, is like for example, I'm 47 years old. Lord willing, June I'll be 48.
Yeah.
And when I was in my 20s and I look at older people, I would always say, I don't want to be stuck when I get older.
Hmm.
So, whatever opportunity that I can to change the way I think as I get older, I want to be, I want to have that opportunity and I want to take it and I want to run with it.
Yeah.
Like even with the kids, like the kids at church or even kid younger, like my daughter's, peers, they thought that I was the older brother, because of how cool I am,
Yeah.
because I know what music they listen to. I get what the music that
For sure.
because I never want to be stuck
Right.
in
Right.
a mindset or a mode to where I'm not willing to change.
Right. 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 And you know what?
Because I
That
want to continue to evolve. I want to continue to be a better me.
for sure.
Because 47 about to be gone. about
Right.
to
Right.
about to be 48. It's an evolving. So
And look,
yeah.
and that it don't matter what you do, that time is gonna keep going.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That
So
part.
you either move with time or time will move you. You
Out the
either
way.
move with time or time will move you.
Yeah.
Like I talk with like young people often, and I tell them, um, the vision for your future starts with what you can see.
Yeah.
It starts with what you can see. You would be surprised how many um what are they called now? Are they Gen Z? Are they Alpha
They
generation? The digital You would
Gen
be
Alpha. Yeah.
surprised how many of them can't see the future
Oh yeah.
because their minds. This is how their minds are wired. Their minds are wired is I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I can't see that. It ain't happened yet. And my thing is, it's up to you
Yeah.
to create that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So how do you want your future to look like?
Yeah.
That's where you start. Now, what you have may change. You know what I mean? Like, so it may not be a Lamborghini. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It may end up being a Corvette. But the point is, you give yourself an object. You give yourself something to concentrate your efforts toward. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And you begin to work towards those things. Kids don't understand that that's how the future works.
Yeah.
How do you see it and then move towards that? I'm not talking about things that are I'm gonna say inevitable. You know what I
Right.
mean? Things that are going to happen because it's a part of your journey. I'm not
Sure.
talking about that stuff. I'm talking about what can you see about your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because which I feel lends to change in some regard, because if I can see what I want to do in the future, I may not know the other impacts that
Right.
those things that I do will have on the people around me.
Yeah.
If it's starting a business, if it's, I don't know, putting out some content, I don't know what the impact is going to be. I don't know what change is going to happen as a result of me making a decision to change
Yeah.
in this moment. You know what I mean? You're right. Being stuck is it's nothing worse than being able to move,
Yeah.
but you cause yourself to be immobile.
Yeah.
It's almost like quicksand.
Yeah.
Your body can move in that stuff. Your legs can move,
Right.
but
Right.
you ain't going nowhere. You
Going
know what I'm
nowhere but
saying?
down.
Yeah, you're going nowhere but down. And so Which lends to the point that I think that I was talking about before we even got started. Sometimes people, I feel, are stuck in a moment because they chose not to change. They're stuck in a moment. They're stuck right wherever they are because they chose not to change. Now, it's probably like 33 years down the line, but they're stuck 33 years prior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Still, you know, I don't know, man. That just kind of drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. I like pushing people. And what's so crazy is I used to, when I was coming up as a kid, I didn't have anybody to push me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
when I say I went through on the job training, like I went through on the job training, things that, you know, I used to love to go to sleep at night because when I used to go to sleep, I used to dream the future. I used to dream the future. And I used to be like, and I would wake up and be like, I wonder if I would just write. Like, I got a box, man. I wish I could show you right now, but I got a box of things that I have just written over the last 20 something, 30 years that I've just written down of things that I see.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes I just go through them and I revisit them because it may have not been, let's just say I may have tried to do it at some particular moment, let's just say 15, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I may have gotten started at it and maybe I hit a wall because it was a piece I had missing.
Right.
Well, you get what I'm saying? Like, I revisit it because I'm like, hold on, let me see something. Maybe it's something going on right now that can, you know, help facilitate that. But you got to be willing. You got to be open. You got to be open to that kind of change because that kind of change is rough because some people don't know how to navigate between a pause and a period.
Yeah.
A pause and a period. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
You know, I know some people say a comma and a period, but I'm saying a pause and a period.
Right.
Because a comma, you still read, but then you go on.
Yeah.
But that pause, it don't mean that you stop. You just paused.
Yield it. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You just held on for a second because pauses typically happen when something else needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good.
When something else needs to happen, a pause will take place. But when it's over with, you'll know because you'll hit that period.
Mm-hmm.
It'll never come. It may never come up again.
Yeah.
Typically, once I've had a period to be placed in something, it never comes up again because that thing has been done. It's been fulfilled. Yeah. It's like it's over with. But when I got these pauses, something in me keeps making me like, okay, revisit this.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? So
wow.
You know. Anyway, I almost like went over there. In this moment because I started thinking about something that just recently happened for me.
Let the Lord use you. And
I just thought about something that recently happened for me, man, because many of you know, like I want to say it maybe been 2 years ago now, something like that. Mm-hmm. But I released a book and a song, right? Yeah. They both was called Never Give Up, the book and the song. Sir.
Got the shirt.
Now, God bless you. Appreciate you. But
I still got mine too.
Look, I appreciate y'all. Okay. I appreciate y'all. What's so interesting is that I was just recently contacted by somebody pertaining to the song. Right? And my mind is saying maybe it's because of the feel of the song. Because the song has a, you know, a little Jamaican kind of, you know, reggae vibe or whatever your case may be. And I was like, is that just a soul happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just because of this moment? You get what I'm saying? So, you know, it happened, but because my mind was like, man, I would like to get this song on radio somewhere. That was my thought like a year ago.
Sure.
But it never stopped. It paused.
Right.
Because it's not that it was coming up every day, but it was just coming up every so often to make
Mm-hmm.
me think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then this happens, and so I don't ask me the name of the stations right now because I can't recall it off the top of my head. But
Sound good.
tomorrow, the song will be on some radio stations.
Hey,
Whoa.
that's
But it was
fire,
a moment.
bro.
Pauses.
Oh,
If you know the difference between a pause and a period,
That's a word.
it will help you. It will help you. Now I could have been like, man, you know, that song's from 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to work on some new music. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about that. No,
right.
no, because something in me was like, hey, that just happened to come up for this moment for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Take advantage of that moment. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
again, you don't know what change will happen based on your, all right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go do it. So we know Bob Marley, of course, he's in the music, right? He's a singer, songwriter.
Sure.
From what I understand, played a freaking amazing guitar. So we all know, I feel, that music is a great catalyst
Mm-hmm.
in the world of change and impact. So Bob Marley's music played a significant role in advocating for change.
Right.
How can art, particularly music, be a catalyst for societal shifts? Societal shifts.
So
Not just giving you something just to twerk at for a moment.
right.
Not to do your sexy red dance. Not to do your Nicki Minaj hump. Not to do your, you know what I'm saying, your Usher roll. Not to do your Chris Brown flip. But and listen, I got nothing against those artists. You know what I'm saying? Like they all got some amazing music. But what I'm saying is their music is not creating societal shift.
Mm.
So the Christian rapper D1 out of New Orleans a few months ago started calling out different major names to change what they were sending out as far as the music. Because, you know, we can all groove to a dope beat.
For sure.
But he was basically challenging them to change their lyrics, challenging them to shift what they're saying because they have such a following. Now, of course, neither one of these cats, except for Meek Mill, responded in a mature way.
For sure.
They responded in such a way like, you know, they finna do a 187 on this dude. And it's like, bro, what you...
Wow.
Are y'all listening to what this man is saying? Y'all not even listening. All he's saying
You're not
is...
being negative. Yeah.
Right. All he's saying is, hey, man, stop saying what you saying about women and shooting and killing and drugs and all of your so-called stories, because a lot of them out there now, of course, you know, back in the 90s they were talking about real life stuff,
for sure,
but now
for sure,
because of the fact that sells now, it's like all he was saying was change your lyrics, change what you're saying, because you have a following that's constantly buying your music.
Exactly. Yeah.
And words have power.
Ooh.
Words have influence.
Yep.
I know you want to say something, but because I got something to say right there about what he just said.
No,
I want you to go first. You go first.
This is your show. This is your show.
Hey, no. No, there ain't no your, ain't no me, ain't no my, ain't no.
Robert said it. I don't think we fully understand the power of words, especially when combined with music. So it's not just words. It's words and music.
And music, yeah.
Music does something to the soul. I am not against any particular type of music per se, but, you know, my little brothers would wake up and start playing some form of hip hop music or rap music when they wake up and they're washing their teeth or showering. And I know that those lyrics with that music and that beat is a spell that has been cast over their life. It works like magic. And so, and I think that has wired their worldview. So when you combine that words with music, you're not just giving someone something to be entertained by,
Right.
but you are creating and forming a world view, a
Yeah.
lens, a perspective by which they interpret their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's that deep, it's that necessary for us to really be thinking about what type of music are we producing and what is the message behind it.
Man. So, okay. So 2 to 3 things. 2 to 3 things, because I'm listening to everything y'all saying. 2 to 3 things. The first thing was this. So there was a point in the movie. So I think I was sharing this with y'all maybe before we started or at the beginning, but I said that based on the movie, it showed where Bob Marley had that sense of, hey, something needs to change right here. We need to do something different. Like he had that sense when it came down to it. So after after the attempt on his life and after the attempt on him, his wife, and his band's life, they went to England or the UK or London, somewhere off up in there, and they just went there to just live for a while. So one day they were rehearsing, playing their music, playing their thing, and he was like, "Nah, gotta do something different there, man. Oh no, it sounds like the same old thing." He's saying, he's like, nah, we need something. No, we gotta change it. We gotta, I guess he had gotten frustrated enough to where he was like, okay, enough is enough. And I feel like, here's a point. Sometimes I think that's what forces change. And that's why change feels sometimes like an attack, because it got to be forced. Change shouldn't be forced. You should feel that it's time to do something and just do it. All right, back to what I was saying. All right, so that was just a little point. Y'all take that how y'all hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, we got to change it up. We got to do something different. So in that moment, he started singing another song. He just started singing another song and started making them play music differently. But that wasn't enough for him, because he was like, if we're gonna change, like we gotta really, really change. So he then sought out some people that wasn't even in his band, that didn't even come with him, and said, hey, we're gonna sing something, play music. Play. Wow. He's like, we're gonna sing something, y'all sing. You know what I'm saying? So he started going through that whole little thing, and that began to start developing the sound that would come, what critics said was like the best album of the 20th century.
Wow.
The album Exodus. So he was able to identify change. He did something when it came time to change, and it was incremental to his life, impactful. Even when you had people that were judging what he wanted to do, and they was like, well, no, we trying to sell records. And he was like, hey, don't worry about the people, them like, if they like, then they're going to hear when they like it. He was saying his thing. So second thing, any of you guys ever saw the movie Pontypool? No. All right. So let me try to give you a quick synopsis of it. So Pontypool is about this town where all of a sudden the people that started going crazy, they started going delusional, they started doing ridiculous stuff. And the reason why they were doing it is because of it wasn't because of the people that were on the radio, but the people on the radio were a big part of what happened. Okay. And in the town, the words started changing. So the word love changed to hate. The word go became stop. Curse words became good words. Good words became curse words. Even so much so to where it started throwing off it made people almost turn into monsters, because they were doing the opposite of everything that somebody said to them.
Wow.
Crazy. So at the end of the movie, so eventually once they figured out what was going on, then they knew how to combat it.
Wow.
They knew then what words to say to change the situation there in the city. So they got back on the air and they started saying, hate is love. Hate is love. And they just kept saying it. They kept saying it until eventually everything started idling down. But the words had power.
Yeah.
The words had power. Change typically starts with a word.
Yeah.
Samuel, you talked about, what your brothers would do in the morning. So, okay. So I am a huge science fiction guy. Like, I like horror movies. I love science fiction. I love fiction. I like knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like insight. I believe that insight gives you insight to insight. That's me. Insight gives you insight to insight. Well, I'm a person, I've done research. Oh, y'all crazy. I've done research on sound. I've done research on energy. I've done research on sound, and I've watched courses where you have these people that have done sound experiments and them putting like sand in this flat plate on top of a speaker and giving off sound to see what happens when you play the sound.
Right.
And it shows different shapes, different movements. And so, I mean, it's amazing to see something go from the middle being a star to all of a sudden every molecule of the sand shifting to one angle and becoming like a moon.
Wow.
And then as they change the sound, it all shifting again and then becoming like the universe. Like, it's amazing to see this happening.
Right.
So the thing that they're saying is this: sound operates on your body just like this.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why you can be in church. And I'm using church because,
right.
I'm just using church. You can be in church and a song will move you, but you'll say it's God moving you. It's the
when it
sound.
just could be the sound.
It's the sound. Your body responds to sound. Your body responds to energy. It's scientifically proven. I don't know why people like to take away science from religion. Like, they go together. You get what I'm saying? Like, what are we fighting to separate these two things for? They go together. Read the biblical stories. You think the person known as Jesus took some mud and put it in somebody's eyes and then they saw? It's something scientific in there.
Right.
It may be a miracle, but let's be clear. It's something scientific in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying. You think the walls of Jericho just came down just because they walked around? No, it was a sound.
Right.
A sound. Sound is crazy, man. Sound impacts change. And the best sound, listen, okay, I don't even want to say what I was about to say. I just thought about something that you said based on what your brothers would do. I remember seeing a Breakfast Club interview. They had an executive from a record label on there. And so the question came to him, hey, well, if you know your music is causing people to, shoot people and, it's degrading women and it's doing this and it's doing that, then why are you signing artists that are doing this? So his response was, well, we all got to eat.
That's true.
Bro, what? We all got to eat. So they know what their music is doing. They know what the artists that they're signing, they know what it's doing. People, like, we can't be naive about record labels and radio stations. That's the reason why you hear the certain songs on the radio. Bro, let me tell you something. I've listened to The Beat. I've listened to The Box. I've listened to some of these other stations from like other cities. They're playing the same songs over and over and over and over and over again. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Bro, one day I was listening to when Houston first got, I believe it's 104.1. I can't remember, I don't remember exactly what the name of the station is, but every song on that station was like that rave kind of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, one day I was like, let me just put it on here. I just want to see what it's about. Man, I'm listening to that on my way to where I was going. Bro, when I got finished, I got there, I was sweating. Because the music had me so amped.
Right.
The whole freaking time. Bro, I was like, I don't like that. I was like, I don't like that feeling. It just had me just up like the whole time. I'm just anxious and alert like the whole time, bro. And I'm talking about a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
I'm just amped. I'm just up. And I'm like, yo, nobody thinks about this. When you're listening to music, when you're listening to words, when you're listening to sound, all of these things play a part in how you respond. Don't be listening to no women, listen to me. Women, don't be don't be listening to Sexy Red and then go try to have an argument with your husband. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Men, don't be trying to go go talk to your homeboy, try to hash something out, and you just finish listening to Moneybagg Yo or Finesse 2 times. Because the first thing that's going to come out your mouth is, yeah, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Don't do that. Because, bro, listen, you're going to find yourself in a fight. You're going to find, women, you're going to mess around and find yourself single because you're going to get to talking about Lewis, this is no, nothing to you. But you're going to get to talking about the dreadheads. That's the first thing you're going to start talking about. And your man ain't going to want to hear that.
Dreadhead.
Rastafarian.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Ladies, don't go listen to Glorilla and then go try to talk to your husband about something crazy and serious, because the first thing gonna come out your mouth when you get mad is I'm FREEF free. That's the first thing you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And listen, again, it's nothing. I ain't got no plight with none of these artists and their songs. All I'm simply saying is the power of these songs and words and how they impact change. Bob Marley was a man of he wanted change to happen. He wanted change to happen. And I believe that if he was still alive right now, would be one of the greatest artists on the planet. It would be nobody that could top him. He probably would never do a song with a NBA young boy.
Yeah.
He'd probably never do a song with a Justin Timberlake. He'd probably, and I'm going for everybody. He probably would never do a song with an Ariana Grande. He would continue to do this music that he's doing, and it would still be impacting the world like it's been doing since he died.
Yeah.
Because he knew the power of music.
Yeah.
And here's that part, right? Here's that part. Here's a big part of it. And he knew that he had a responsibility.
Facts.
With the music he was given to produce something that was bigger than him.
Facts.
That's the transformation, right? The change that has to happen in us is we have to realize that we exist and we are gifted for things and causes bigger than us, and we should use them for things that are bigger than us. So if he wouldn't cross the paths of someone, or he wouldn't work with someone whose motive was self-centered.
For sure.
You know, I think that's the big part of what has to happen in us, is say, man, you know what? This that I have is not mine.
Yeah.
It's for the benefit.
That's crazy.
Of somebody else.
Always.
So that's the transition that's got to take place.
That right there, what you just said, I feel like therein lies the problem. What you just said, therein lies the problem. And I'm going to tell you why. We have gifts, we have talents, we have abilities, but we fail to remember, or let me not even say remember, because some people might not even know, but we fail to realize that most times the gift is not even for us.
Yeah.
And so we try to take it upon ourselves to use the gift for us, and then we be like, bro, why this not working? Because you missing a part.
Right.
You're missing you're missing that person that's at your school that you don't talk to because you think that they're weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing that person. You're missing the person that live right beneath you that you don't ever, really engage in conversation with because they not like you.
Yeah.
So most of us are missing out on those significant shift changes in our lives because we don't want to tap in to the future, because that's basically what you're not doing. You're
Right.
not tapping into the future.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think about every artist that we've ever said they were ahead of their time.
Oh yeah.
They were probably ahead of their time because they probably tapped in to another gift that helped them produce the future.
Yeah.
Freaking Lauryn Hill,
Oh, bro.
man.
Hands
Freaking
down.
Lauryn Hill, her songs, her music still sound like it should have been produced right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
right now. Like that's crazy. One album,
One,
and she's lived on that album for 30 years.
bro.
Bro, you can't tell me she didn't. You cannot tell me her, the producers and the writers, that they did not tap into the future.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that they didn't, because their songs have transcended freaking time. One album, bro, and you live off of it for 30 years.
30
Can
years.
still do concerts, whether you late or not. I've been to a concert with her, and she was late, but when she got up there, bro, she was amazing.
Killed it.
She was amazing, bro. That's anyway. That's crazy.
Hey,
That's crazy.
I
That's
get it.
crazy.
I get it. It's interesting. So a lot of times at night, if I've been gone all day, and if my wife is playing, like, she's listening to preaching, or if she's playing something that's slow,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, that's not going to work. I need something that's upbeat, right? So, but check this out. So one night I told her, I said, play some John Coltrane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm driving, and as John Coltrane is playing, I'm more alert than anything.
Yeah.
Which my wife is like, are you sleepy? We have been on the road for like maybe 15 minutes. I said, no, I'm good. Which was a shock to me, because I'm like, yo, I'm thinking, man, this music about to put me to sleep. Let me put
Yeah.
the pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
But it actually kept me alert, and I wasn't tired the whole way till we got home.
For sure.
So it's interesting, and it's not based upon a lot of times how fast the beat is,
Right.
but it's based upon how slow.
Mm-hmm.
That determines, what the outcome will be. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I had talked about this, Perk, one time about the alpha waves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just so happen to be looking up on YouTube about music for studying your
Mm-hmm.
concentration. And
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, it's this alpha waves. And so, this will increase your concentration. I was like, what? Man, let me check this out. Let me try it, bro.
Huh.
At 2,
Huh.
3 hours, my mind was a whole lot sharper. I was able to retain a whole lot of, what I had been reading, able to regurgitate it. And I'm like, yo, this is the business,
Mm-hmm.
So sounds, words, definitely make a difference as it relates to what you're doing. Now, if
For
you want
sure.
to be depressed, play some Sade. I'm just saying.
No lie.
I ain't.
Sade. Oh my God.
You associated Sade with depression?
Yes. The level of
I
depression.
think he's talking about the sound.
No.
No,
In
sir.
that regard. You talking about the lyrics?
No, not her lyrics. Her sound.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sound, yeah, bro. Because I told my wife, I was like, man, I thought, because Smooth Operator was the jam for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Until I went, look, good old Family Dollar had a $7 CD And I
Oh my
said,
God.
bet I'm finna get this Sade and and groove to it.
Oh my God.
Bro, by the third song, I said, I got to cut this crap off because this is depressing. Completely. So yeah. But yeah.
Bro, my,
One
my
thing
brother.
about change though, I'm gonna say this. And I'm gonna shut my mouth. One thing about change though, we have to be willing to let something old go.
Oh man. Mm, mm,
Because if what you have been doing
Mm.
has not been working,
mm-hmm.
you have to make the choice to let it go and literally cut off the dead weight.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I think change happens under two circumstances:
yeah,
extreme frustration or extreme freedom.
Mm. Oh man.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, either of those circumstances produce it invite it's the those circumstances are the catalyst or the invitation to change.
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some people I know that they get extremely free,
yeah,
and then their creative genius kicks in, and that stirs up change.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Or on the opposite side of the spectrum, is extremely frustrated, and then their creative genius kicks in. And it's like, we could, you know, um, but I would like to just kind of revert to something. We're still back to that change in words and thoughts and sound and music, and that is, um, how much would we change if we learn sometimes to talk our way into it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
boy,
to
Mm-hmm.
to chant our way
Mm-hmm.
into it. Sometimes you may not be on at that extreme place, but your words can get you there.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if I said this. I think I said this on the previous time together. I had a seminar, or not seminar, but a college professor years ago say, T, we've often said you have to think your way in yourself into a way of acting, but sometimes you got to act your way
Mm-hmm.
into a way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
so,
good. That's good.
I need to, so sometimes you got to get a list of words, statements, and begin to talk yourself into a
Yeah.
change,
Yeah.
into a new way of being, you know?
but
Yeah.
you said thoughts, which just in what you think about can determine the direction that you're going to go. And if you're not careful, if you entertain a thought that will it'll take you in the direction that you hadn't planned on going.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we should just, I don't think people realize your thoughts drive everything.
Yeah,
Your thoughts drive everything. Your thoughts drive your words.
yeah,
And then your words then cause your action.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
your thoughts drive everything. Even when you're on the freeway using the GPS. I don't know not one person that ain't ever been like, hold on, you know what? Let me see. Should I go this way? I don't know not one person that ain't ever done that.
Right, right,
Even though the GPS is very clear about where it's going,
right.
but your mind,
Yeah,
that mind is, oh my God, your mind can.
bro.
Fitboy Boys had the best. Bushwick. My silly mind playing tricks on me.
Hey,
Mm.
hey.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Willie D,
Mm-hmm.
face it. If y'all, hey, I'm gonna tag y'all in this. I need some of y'all to come on the show too. Everybody coming on the show.
Right. Hey, real talk.
Everybody can come on the show, man.
Yeah,
Okay, so look. Okay, so we all know now. If people didn't know, but Bob Marley was considered a global change maker.
yeah,
So Bob Marley was a global figure who aimed to inspire change.
right.
Who, in your opinion, are some modern day change makers who use their platforms for positive impact. Ooh. Whoa. Ooh.
Bro.
This rough.
Is
Really?
this I
This
got
rough.
one.
Question?
Okay, who?
No, wait. Are
That
they
was a
alive?
question. I don't know. Are they?
He said modern day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Modern day.
shit.
Is this ethnicity
Nope.
specific?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
one
speaking
that
of which, hold on. Let me tell you why it's not ethnically driven.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that Bob Marley's dad was white.
Shut your face. How about that?
Ain't that a trip?
That is.
Robert looked like Bob Marley tonight.
Boy, Rastafarian.
Oh, you sound just like it too. No.
All right.
Okay, no. Who you gonna say? Who's gonna say?
Now, I'll say John C. Maxwell
Mm.
Yeah.
because
Okay.
for the average Joe, he has really provided tectonic work on leadership. I
Yeah.
don't think that many consider his work scholarly,
Mm-hmm.
but he's written for the practical space,
Oh,
and he has
yeah.
shifted the world
Yeah.
as it relates to leadership. He's really been a pioneer
Yeah.
in the leadership space.
For
Like I
sure.
said, though people may not read his books in the collegiate space, but for the average Joe, the practical middle class person trying to become a better leader, he really pioneered to me that space over the last 20 years. So
Yeah.
21 irrefutable laws, it was like, ooh,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Leadership. Yep. Got that. Yeah.
yeah,
I would say, um, I would say from a leadership standpoint, Craig Groeschel as well. Um, and he's a pastor out of, I think, Oklahoma or somewhere. But
Mm-hmm.
he does his podcast. He does a lot of leadership, dealing with teams, organizations. But from that particular standpoint, now overall, just societal change. Um, I got a blank on that one, bro, because who is it that's really actually making lasting change as it relates to society?
Well, no, not societal change. Just positive impact.
Just positive change?
Those that are using their platform for positive
Oh,
impact.
Killer Mike. I think Killer
I
Mike is
can
making
agree with
a
that.
difference. Yeah,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
yeah. I would have ventured to say Umar Johnson, but mm, not so
I
much.
But
I need
but okay, so why not? Why not though? Why not?
So
Why not with Omar Johnson?
so the reason why is because I have heard like a lot of his interviews that he's done with
Mm-hmm.
different spaces of people, whether it was the Breakfast Club or whether it was in some particular platform. And a lot of stuff that he says is really good and it's at truth. But then there's a lot of stuff and a lot of his belief systems that is a little bit kind of off. And that's just my
yeah,
opinion.
Okay. Okay. So
but
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but I just this is to me this is so much. Okay. Herein is my frustration with the current age. And
Right.
that is a person can be loud enough to get mic time.
Mm.
Mm,
And that mic time dominates our perception
right.
of the change they have created.
Mm.
And and there are people that we may not know right now, may not know personally, that are pioneering and plowing, creating change. but they don't get any mic time.
For sure.
True.
So I do think of somebody, John Hope Bryant,
Why
one
did you?
MBB,
I knew you
1
was
million
finna.
black
Oh
businesses.
my God.
Yeah.
That was
I
mine.
mean, it was your. I'm sorry, I should have waited. My bad.
No, go ahead. Go.
I've taken his entrepreneurship course for the free, 8 weeks for free,
Yeah.
and it's impressive the level of excellence and investment that they've made into that. But his mission is clear, and so John Hope Bryant, he's got a fairly large
Following. Yeah.
following,
Yeah, he
and
does.
he's got a pretty public platform.
Yeah.
But imagine the people making change, all over the country or all over the world, tapping into causes that we don't hear much of,
Right.
because they've been doing it for 30 years and didn't need a microphone. They just went and did the work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't know. I've done enough research on Dr. Umar Johnson to know exactly what grassroots on the grounds work is he doing. But I just hear him on the microphone more than I hear people testifying of the community and change he's instituted in
the causes.
No, I can't wait till because he's opening a school, so
Okay.
I can't wait to see that finish. I've had an opportunity to kind of like see him and his team like going on the inside, just kind of walking through their day-to-day stuff and showing where X, Y, and Z is and what this is going to be and where that all of that stuff. So I can't wait to see that come into fruition, mainly because of his very strong belief about the black people having their own education. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Having their own, community and all of that stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. A person that I think I want to add to this list. Well, not that I think. A person I know I want to add to this list is Derek Harper. I want to add Derek Harper to this list, not because I know him. It's not because I know him personally, but it's because since I've known him, I've had the opportunity to see the progression of his impact, like from, because like he has a group right now. Done is better than perfect because perfect never gets done. I've had the opportunity to see that from the seed it was to the freaking mountain it is right now. You know what I mean? I've had the opportunity to see that and really how him and his team have helped people from all walks of life. You know what I mean? Better themselves, especially those that are in the black and brown communities. You know what I mean? So I want to add Derek Harper to that list. So that's cool. So I think that's a really, really great list. But I feel like, man, I hate it. I ain't gonna lie. Like I hate it. Kind of took us a little bit to kind of formulate that, which says a lot in itself, right? That means, we live in a different time now. You know what I mean? Where I know the grassroots movement, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff. But we live in a different time now. So that means the access to everything that's going on, it should be a little different. So that we can know. We don't have to wait 2 months now to get word of King them did this in this city. You get what I'm saying? We don't have to wait a month or so to hear that. Like it can happen in minutes.
Yeah.
So that means that somebody that may be listening to this, at this moment or later on, like we need people in different spaces. We need people to acquire different spaces. Every family, I feel, should have somebody that works in just about every industry.
Yeah.
Barber.
Yeah.
Travel. Hotel. Restaurant.
Yeah.
Medical. Education.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's a wealth of knowledge. You get what I'm saying? Like I get, man, that's a wealth of knowledge, and knowledge is invaluable. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you got somebody in every industry in your family, man, there should be no reason. I'm gonna just say honest, it should be no reason for lack, because everything that you need is right there. You know,
Right.
so but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? We could like say that like for another show, because family is important too. You know what I'm saying? Family is
Right.
important, and we need to. We are in a time where we should be able to. Our family should be impacting the cultures. The cultures. Family should be impacting culture. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that part of my goal, you know what I'm saying, even for my family, is to be a catalyst for change. I feel
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying, about myself, because and I feel like I know that there is truth in it because of some of the flack that I get from the things that I do. You know what I mean? Uh and it's like, oh, why you gotta do that? Why you well my question would be, why you not?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like so you know, there's that part.
Right.
But
That
at
deals
any
with
rate, go ahead.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though change is inevitable, there's still people have to make the choice to want to. You know,
Yeah.
For
uh,
sure.
you know, as far as what you mentioned about family, I'm, you know, like my whole family's from Louisiana, from the southern part of Louisiana, and nobody wants to move.
Mm.
Everybody wants to stay because, oh, we're around family, but it's like you're making pennies.
Right.
You're not, you know, like I have a cousin that has two masters, and I said you can come to California and make buku, but
Mm-hmm.
Buku.
Mm.
she's like, I can't, you know, because of
Wow.
course parents, you know, because the parents are older, and but the thing is that it's like take them with you, you know.
Wow.
But she's like, no, you know, I want to stay here, make sure I
Wow.
take mom, and I'm like, okay, you know, but it's a matter of having a want to
Wow.
actually experience change. Me even leaving from Houston to come to California was major.
That
Yeah,
was major.
I don't see how, you know, any of that was going to come. But the thing is that I know that I needed to leave,
for sure. For sure.
and it's been a lot of changes. You know what I'm saying? That's transpired. You know, but it was necessary. You know, I don't have the same mindset that I did before I left Houston. Yeah, my
Wow.
mindset changed a lot about, especially in the area of, you know, ministry, and you know, because this is a different breed of people, you know. But I think that it's just, if you're willing to make the choice to change and not submit to the environment that you're in, or not allow for the environment that you're in to affect your decisions, then you know you gotta one up,
For sure.
you know,
For
because
sure.
we all know Houston has a crab mentality,
Oh man.
you know, and it's been that way for years, you
Wow.
know.
I what Robert, that story you just shared triggered me.
Okay,
Um,
the professor
it
speak.
As
it
long as you don't
made me
shoot. No.
say it made me say what must be said or assessed concerning uh when you fear change, or let me go back. What is the relationship between change and the environment? And what
Mm.
made me think through that is perhaps sometimes we don't change because we're in environments that we can control the outcome, and
Mm.
change requires us to move to environments where we can't control everything.
Mm.
Uh, you know,
Mm.
it's like when you have the change mindset, you realize that you live in an environment of uncertainty,
Right,
so you're constantly adapting.
right.
Versus when you don't have the change mindset, you say, nope, I want to stay in a place where I can stay in control,
Yeah. Yeah.
But
where
you know,
nothing's going to challenge the status quo.
but I think
Mm.
I think that everybody has the capability of changing their particular environment,
Mm,
but it takes their mindset to change.
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because like, okay, Perk, you know, I don't know what side where you, if you from the Fofo Samuels or what. I don't know what area but bro, I'm
What
from,
is that? What
yeah. What is
what is
that?
these gang signs you're
Is
throwing
that a
around?
four? You from the four, or is that the 4-4?
What? Oh,
So
that the po.
so you know, I was raised in Fifth Ward, Cashmere Garden area. You know,
The bloody fifth.
right, and pretty
Facts.
much what you see was what you get. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
it's like, you know, my wife and I, when we got married, we like, yeah, we moving away from everybody. So we moved all the way over out 45, not in Greenspoint, you know,
Guns point. No.
but right, but outside of Greenspoint, which when we got there, it was a totally different environment. It was a
Yeah.
totally different, surrounding. But
Yeah.
even when that became old, it's like, okay, we got to adjust to something different, or we have to purpose to look at where we are and say, no, this can't stay the same,
Yeah.
and actually start doing something about it. So yeah, no, that's that, but that's real. That's real. And
Wow.
and you said the key word, fear. We're fearful of the unknown.
Yeah. But it's like people who have the change, who have the growth mindset, the change mindset, learn to live with uncertainty. I love Tony Robbins on fear. He says basically fear is a response to uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, if you if you're in a comfortable and controllable environment,
Mhm.
you pretty much are like, what use is it to move to a uncontrollable, uncertain environment? What
Mhm.
use? I just stay in Houston where I know everything and everybody. I know where to go, who to get to. Why move all the way out to California
Right.
Mm-hmm.
with nobody?
Yeah.
You know. But there's a thing in us, this nagging feeling like there has to be more. But the only way for me to get it is I have to get into new spaces, into places of uncertainty, because here's what uncertainty does. It grows you. It pulls the depth out of you.
Yep.
It causes you to evolve. You don't evolve in safe places.
Right. Woo,
Not at all.
sir.
Not at
Amen
all.
to that.
Not at all. Not at
You
all.
know, you
Not at
become the
all.
big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only grow so much. What would happen if you got into a bigger pond? How much would you grow? Anyway, that story made me think of all of that.
Hey,
This
that's
this
real.
is this is a very 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 real uh introspective retrospective on a perspective.
Aha! And
Okay,
wait,
so
let me just add this piece, and let's put it back in your frame, Perkins. I'm done for real when I say this.
yeah.
But put it back in the frame of Bob Marley,
Yeah,
who who was initially a Jamaican icon,
for sure.
but then the world became his pond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he had to buy into his cause,
Right. Right.
and so he
See,
becomes the voice of change, not just for Jamaicans,
But for everybody.
but for many oppressed or people suffering from violence. I feel like preaching on here. What part
oh my God.
what part of your story is God trying to get a message out of that will cause you to be viral? That will cause you to be a viral voice. What part of your story? I'm not talking about us, but somebody who's going to be watching this, who's suppressing
Mhm.
some of the less pretty parts of your story, but God wants to use that, or divinity or destiny wants is calling for that part of you. Life is calling for you to
Sure.
manifest that part and become a voice for others. You frustrated because you're in a little pond. and the world is your playground.
Sheesh.
If you
Yep.
just tap into your voice. Anyway,
Yep.
I just had that
Yep.
just came to my
It,
mind.
no, I got it. I got it. And definitely appreciate that. Appreciate you sharing that because, as I said, Bob Marley was a person you could tell by his story. He was always able to identify when change was necessary, and he did not do well. Let me say he initially did, but eventually did not do what I feel a lot of us do when it comes down to a place of familiarity and comfort. He didn't say, I'm gonna use it. Oh yeah, they got me, you know what I'm saying? I'm singing at, 3-4 clubs a week here. I'm leading worship at 4 churches every Sunday.
Oh snap! Yeah.
These people right here around this corner, they always buy my t-shirts up.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
didn't allow. How can I say this? He did not allow the success. He did not allow the success of comfort
Yeah.
to prevent him from global exposure.
Right.
And in H-Town and anywhere else, here's the reason why I'm saying that. I get it. We doing good in the hood. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We super vocal with the local. I got it. You know what I'm saying? We the superstar near and far, north, south, east, west. I get that. I understand it. But imagine what it could be if you were able to simply extend your reach. Extend your reach. I get it. Yeah, I understand. Hey, I know every church got you on their program, and they I know this business over here got you doing this. Yeah, that club got you. I got that. I understand that. But there are other spaces and places that need to hear you. Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid to step out in the water. Stop being afraid to step out into unknown space. Sam, as you said a minute ago, what would happen if you get into a bigger pond? I believe that it's good to get in a bigger pond, but some people gonna drown jumping in that bigger pond. And here's the reason why. It's not because that they can't swim. It's not because you cannot swim. You can swim, but you're gonna jump into that pond and you're gonna drown because it's a place you've never been before. I've seen people freak out over a pool because it was a different pool from the pool that they was in once before. It wasn't their neighborhood pool. It wasn't the pool in their backyard.
Right.
Same depth. Maybe not the same color water. Maybe some was green, some was blue, some was brown. But it was a swimming pool nonetheless.
Right.
And I heard somebody say, "Oh, I don't know if I can swim in that." It's like, why? Because this pool different from the one by my house. Did you lose your skill because you what?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so anyway. So look, before we wrap up this insightful conversation, I want to pause for a minute, and for those that are listening, you know what moment we're at. I need you to plug in with me. Change and impact are not just, let me say that. Let me start over. Change and impact are not just grand events, but the sum of small, consistent actions. As we navigate our lives, let's remember that every choice, every interaction can be a force for change. The impact we leave isn't always measured in grand gestures, but often in the ripples of our daily choices. Plug it with me and consider this. What small changes can you make today that might create a ripple effect in your life and the lives of those around you. That's my plug-in moment. Look, man, I appreciate you guys for taking a listen today, for watching. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that download button, share this podcast. Man, I appreciate my co-host. Like I said, I might have to 1099 them or something. You know what I'm saying? Robert Lewis and Terrance Samuels, man. I appreciate you guys for jumping on, man, and just for sharing your insights on change and impact. Inspired, man, by the movie One Love. A story about Bob Marley. Again, if you have not seen it, listen, just take a moment, man, and go watch it. I believe that it'll stir up some change in you. It'll cause you to want to do some things that you've never done before, so that you can see a place that you've never seen, so that you don't have to go back to what used to be, but you can become the best version of you yet. Man, again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Outlet Podcast. And until next time, remember, there's power in the outlet. Peace.